Kashmir! Will be India! Bharat Mata ki Jai! Vande Mataram! Vande Mataram! No place for terrorism! No place for terrorism! Free speech! No hate speech!
Down with JKLF! Down with JKLF!
Mata ki
Jai!
Bharat Mata ki
Jai!
Vande
Mataram!
Vande
Mataram!
Free speech!
No hate speech!
Free speech!
No hate speech!
No place for
Terrorism!
No place for
Terrorism!
Free speech!
No hate speech!
Free speech!
No hate speech!
No invite!
Terrorists!
No invite!
Terrorists!
No invite!
Terrorists!
No invite!
Terrorists!
Terrorists in union!
Unholy communion!
Terrorists in union!
Unholy communion!
Terrorists in union!
Hello viewers, you're watching India Today Global with me Ishita Mitra, and the big story we're going to look at today comes from Britain. Now in the heart of the United Kingdom, a storm is brewing at the Oxford University. The cause? A planned anti-India debate by the Oxford Union. Now this is the debating society of the college. So what makes it controversial is the topic, which is the House believes in an independent state of Kashmir. And what's even more alarming are the speakers that they invited for the debate. So let's unpack this. Now the controversial debate topic rightly invited backlash from Indian students and political groups. They launched a protest against the Oxford Union, voicing their discontent over what looks like a direct attack on India's sovereignty and territorial integrity. Remember, New Delhi maintains that Jammu and Kashmir is an integral and inseparable part of the country. There can be no ifs and buts or questions about it. And these demonstrations outside the Oxford were in line with these views. Now people raised slogans like Jammu and Kashmir was India, is India and will be India. Listen in.
Jammu Kashmir! Will be India! Bharat Mata ki Jai! Vande Mataram! Vande Mataram! No place for
Terrorism!
No place for
Terrorism!
Free speech!
No hate speech! Down with JKLF! Down with JKLF!
Mata ki
Jai!
Bharat Mata ki
Jai!
Vande
Mataram!
Vande
Mataram!
Free speech!
No hate speech!
Free speech!
No hate speech!
No place for
Terrorism!
No place for
Terrorism!
Free speech!
No hate speech!
Free speech!
No hate speech!
No invite!
Terrorists!
No invite!
And the opposition to the debate was not just limited to the streets. Inside UK, a prominent social movement advocating for the Indian community and British Hindus has also issued a very strong statement. It has questioned the Oxford Union's choice of the topic and the selection of speakers. Now, the movement argues that by debating Kashmir's independence in a foreign forum, the Oxford Union risks undermining India's sovereignty. It talks about how this could incite more violent incidents and geopolitical tensions in the region. Now, if you see, the history of Kashmir is marked by wars and tragic incidents. So the statement also highlights how thousands of Kashmiri Hindus were displaced from their ancestral homes, forced to flee under the threat of violence and intimidation. The mass exodus that we're talking about took place in the early 1990s, and it still remains an unresolved tragedy, with many displaced families still living in refugee camps to this day. Now the deeper issue here is that the debate description. It frames Kashmir as a region with deep-seated aspirations for autonomy, leading to unrest and human rights concerns. Now, while the situation on the ground says otherwise. Meanwhile, the choice of speakers with links to terrorists has also raised concerns. Let's talk about them. The first speaker was Muzammil Ayub Thakur. Now, he's a Kashmiri independence activist, and the other one was Professor Zafar Khan. He is the chairman of the Jammu and Kashmir Liberation Front. Now, if you see, both of them are known for their opposition to Indian control of Kashmir. Thakur leads the Justice Foundation and Kashmir Freedom Movement. He's been accused of incitement and hate speech. And viewers, if we talk about his background, Thakur is the president of World Kashmiri Freedom Movement and also Mercy Universal. Now, both these entities have reportedly been investigated by UK Scotland Yard, the Charity Commission and the FBI, and this is for their suspected connections to terrorists. Meanwhile, the other speaker, Khan, he represents the Jammu and Kashmir Liberation Front. Now, separatist leader Yasin Malik's extremist and separatist organization is also associated with violent acts in the region. And this includes, of course, terrorism often aimed at Kashmiri Hindu community. It has been linked to kidnapping and killing of even an Indian diplomat, Ravindra Mhatre, in the UK back in the year 1984. Now remember, the organization has been declared as unlawful association by New Delhi under the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act. And this was in the year 2019. And its leader Yasin Malik is currently lodged in Tihar prison. He's serving life imprisonment in a terror funding case. Now Insight UK has called out the Oxford Union, and rightly so, for inviting speakers with alleged links to terrorism, saying that the debate undermines India's constitutional framework. Now if you've taken a larger look at this incident and of course the outrage that this has sparked, one needs to understand that debate and discussions should always be welcomed. In a healthy democracy, it is okay to talk about issues which are even controversial or sensitive. But the question is, giving platform to speakers with alleged terrorist links, can that be right? Well, this is the question that we leave you with. Thank you so much for watching India Today Global with me, Ishita Mitra. This is the platform where we simplify geopolitics for you. Thank you.